Well, good evening from the EIS in Sheffield, where we've seen semi-finals tonight, and in the women's semi-finals, Vanessa Atkinson, as you might expect of a player of her status and former world number one and world champion, eased her way to the final, and she'll meet there Lauren Briggs, who's just won the last match on, beating Becky Botwright 3-0. Very entertaining games, the women's matches, and I think part of that reason is the 11 scoring. They're quickly adapting to it, and I think it'll make women's squash much more watchable. Everybody's pleased to see Vanessa here, as she's an outstanding woman player and she enhances the tournament. The men's matches, James Willstrop and Peter Barker was first on, and obviously of great interest in view of Peter's massive improvement and both of their achievements for England in the recent World Team Championships. James began very well and in the end clinched the first game on a tie break, and then convincingly won the second to go 2-up when it really looked as if that might be the end of it, but he lost his way a bit in the beginning of the third, and Peter played well, took an early lead. James fired in a few, hoped it would work, didn't, finished up losing it, but he quickly gathered himself for the fourth game and actually won that very convincingly 11-1 to take up his place in his first ever Mamus English final, so he'll be particularly pleased with that. Nick Matthew then had to play John White, and Nick of course is the local favourite and the Sheffield boy, and although he's not seeded one here, he's actually world rank 5 as against James 6, so he would be looking to assert himself here. John, we know, had a problem last night, stood up well actually. You could see that his movement was a bit limited at times, but he made a really brave fist of it, as John White would, but in the end you could see it was inevitable, and Nick eased his way really to a 3-0 victory. I think both James and Nick were relatively happy with the way they played today. I think they've both shown enough here to suggest that tomorrow they might produce a really fine final, which they're capable of doing, and they often do in fact have massive matches. Anyway, I think on balance it's perhaps the final people wanted to see, and you know, Nick from Sheffield, both from Yorkshire, 5 and 6 in the world, and let's hope that they produce the match the occasions demands and is worthy of. That's a brief summary of events today from the EIS. Good night everyone.